Hyundai, for example, has 22 dealers in the Chicagoland metro. About every 7 miles, you get a dealer. So, what are you going to do as a consumer? You go from dealer to dealer to dealer to dealer to try to get the best price.
Growing up and living in China for 38 years, I worked in China's automotive industry for 12 years, and recently I started my own auto channel, Fully Charged James. My channel focuses on the globalization of Chinese automakers. I hope my channel will help more overseas users know the advantages of Chinese cars. Today is my first episode. I'm so honored to have the opportunity to interview with Bob Pradzinski, who was Hyundai Motor America's former VP of sales. Let's hear people from American automaker, dealer, and ordinary customer. What do they think about Chinese cars? Let's begin our today's talk. Um,
Sure.
so I know you recently started a new company called Nimble. I logged in its official website, but I only have a general idea of what it's doing. So can you give me a um, more detailed information about what's its main business scope? What does it do? What's its business goal?
Of course. So, as you know, I worked at Ha for 5 or 6 years. And Ha tried to bring in Zotye and Chery vehicle. Well, in May of 2021, I and my co-founder, Garrett Bailey, we both left Ha, deciding that we could form a company that could do things a little bit smarter. And the goal of the company, the goal of NIM is to get Chinese vehicles to the US. That's our goal. Our goal, we want to become a distributor for one or multiple Chinese brands.
Got you. I know there are several business models for the Chinese automaker to enter in the US market. For example, the auto OEM itself build a American branch itself. The second is to appoint a third party company to be the sole distributor or sole representative company for the US market. They recruit the dealers and do all their dealer management. The third is to find a like a smaller trader who retail their car to smaller dealers. So what's Nimble's business type?
Well, there's really two ways you can do it here in the US that you wouldn't get entangled with all the different various laws. So you can do it just like Hyundai did. Hyundai Motor America is a wholly owned subsidiary of
Yes.
Hyundai Motor Group of Korea, right?
Yes.
Then you can do a direct-to-consumer model. So a direct-to-consumer model is how Tesla is doing it, right?
Yes.
You sell direct to the customers and you don't use dealers. We have found what we think is a better way. We have come up with what we call a hybrid dealer direct-to-consumer distribution model and take best of both. Yes, so it's a hybrid model. So Tesla, for example, didn't make money in the US for the first 13 years of their operation.
Exactly.
They didn't make money, right? So how do you bring in a new brand but make money? Well, you have to use dealers. But in the US, every brand has too many dealers. They've over dealerized. Hyundai, right? So Hyundai, for example, has 22 dealers in the Chicagoland metro.
Oh my God.
About every 7 miles, you get a dealer. So, what are you going to do as a consumer? You go from dealer to dealer to dealer to dealer to try to get the best price. What do people like about a direct to consumer model? fact that you log on to a site and you pay what everybody else pays for the car, and you don't have to deal with salespeople at a dealership. We think in a hybrid model, you could have both goals, but by using dealers, all that cost of having sales and service centers is not on your P&L. It's on the dealer's P&L. You just have to make sure the dealer has a big enough territory and the dealer can make enough profit that they want to participate. So in the case of Zotye and Chery, we found plenty of dealers that wanted to participate, because the dealers all know it's not a matter of if Chinese OEMs come to the US, it's a matter of when they come to the US. And an average dealer in the US would look at a Chinese OEM as being the next Hyundai or the next Kia. So there would be huge profit opportunity.
Got you. So you just mentioned a hybrid way, right?
Yes. So a hybrid way would be, you would still sell one price. You could have the customer go to our website, do all the pricing, get a price on their used car, know what the taxes are, know what the license plates are, and actually finish the deal online. Then all they have to do is pick the closest dealer to go get the vehicle and get the car delivered, right? But in the US, you would still have the dealer actually fulfill the whole process, right? Have the dealer would be with you to sign the paperwork. So it would work. Dealers believe in it. Now it's just a matter of finding a Chinese OEM that wants to take a chance on the US. And that's a whole nother list of issues, right? Of why Chinese OEMs aren't in the country, in the US and Canada already.
Got you. So it sounds like this is the exactly thing what the Volkswagen ID series wants to do in China. In China, they call it agency type, which means the dealer owns the P&L and inventory, but they don't own the ordering process. Customer needed to go to the Volkswagen app to make an order, to pay for the down payment, and the dealer only responsible for the delivery and maintenance.
Yeah, so we're a little bit different. In the US and Canada, people aren't used to ordering cars. They're used of spending a weekend looking for a car, going to different dealerships and driving the car home. So only about 15% of cars in the US are ordered. So we think with our plan, you could still have the dealers have inventory of cars, but you make it much simple. So Hyundai today has 28 different models and thousands of combinations. If you look at what sells in the US, 80% of car sales are in this order: white, black, silver, or dark gray. So you could offer 5 colors, maybe only a single color interior, and maybe the car is fully equipped and maybe the only option is a sunroof. And so now you make it very easy for the customer to pick. And because that's the entire set of how you can get the car, if they want one, they're going to have to pick one. So now maybe a dealer only has to stock 20 cars and he has the complete lineup, everything covered. And that's what people want. So James, I want to know that what I paid for the car, that you didn't get a better deal than me, right? If I know that everybody's paying the same amount, I have confidence in buying the car.
Got you. So I'm curious, how can we make sure every customer gets the same price? Because in China, Volkswagen tried to make this agency type work, but they at the end they found that some dealers they give customer additional discount secretly, so they bypass the OEM channel, and when the customer visit the Volkswagen ID store, some dealer, they give additional discounts secretly. So how can you deal with this kind of thing?
So, as you know, dealers have what they call dealer management system, their computer system. In the US, there are about 30 different companies. And again, I'll use Hyundai as an example because I was so involved with Hyundai. They have 8 approved vendors. When you have multiple DMS systems, you're never going to have a great customer experience. So if there's a single DMS system, then we as the distributor can see what the dealers are selling the cars for. Then you have to have the conversation with the dealer. Now, one thing you cannot stop the dealer from doing, and how they could give an extra discount, is give the people more money for their trade-in. There would be no way to stop that. But if you paid the dealer a commission for every car sold, and our plan would be 10 or 12% of the price of the car would be their commission. It would be a lot of money for the dealer, right?
Yes.
They're not going to want to ruin that, because then if you found out that, and you could put it in their agreement, that if they sold the car at a big discount or were doing that continuously, you would cut their commission, right? So that's how you would do it. And it seems simple, but all these have so many dealers, and they have so much repetitive capability. They can't do it. They can't go backwards, because they could never take all those dealers out of business. Only a brand new OEM coming into the market could do it and would have a huge advantage because of it.